Welcome to this video lecture, and today we will discuss about the adenovirus disease in birds. Means adenovirus cause disease in birds. We will discuss about those disease. Then first one is the disease of birds caused by the adenovirus. Which disease caused by the adenovirus in birds? They are the categorized or classified. That is the first disease of birds is the hydropericardium syndrome. Hydropericardium syndrome. These also called as the Angara disease. Also called as the Angara disease. Second disease, that is the egg drop syndrome. Egg drop syndrome. This is the mostly laying birds disease. Egg drop syndrome is the mostly laying bird disease. Third disease is the turkey adenovirus third. That is turkey adenovirus third. This is the turkey disease caused by the adenovirus third, also called as the hemorrhagic enteritis of turkey. Next one is the quill bronchitis. Quill bronchitis. This is mostly the occurs in the quill and infect the respiratory tract of quill. These are the four diseases caused by the adenovirus in birds. The egg drop syndrome is the important disease asked many times in the short type of the question, or many time of the definition or filler type question else also. So this is the disease caused by the adenovirus are the hydropericardium syndrome, egg drop syndrome, turkey adenovirus third, or hemorrhagic enteritis of the turkey, or quill bronchitis. Then we will discuss one by one disease. So first disease is the hydropericardium syndrome. Hydropericardium syndrome, that is the Angara disease. The disease associated with the infection of genus AV adenovirus. This disease, hydropericardium disease, occur or caused by the AV adenovirus first. AV adenovirus. But most severe manifestation of the disease require co-infection with immunosuppressive agent or exposed with immunosuppressive alpha toxin. Disease is more severe when birds co-infection or already infected with the immunosuppressive agent or immunosuppressive alpha toxins. When bird is already infected with the immunosuppressive agent or immunosuppressive alpha toxin, then AV adenovirus infect the bird, so cause the severe effect on birds. So hydropericardium is associated with the immunosuppressive agent, co-infection with the immunosuppressive agent. This is the important. So hydropericardium caused by AV adenovirus. Then mortality rate in the hydropericardium, that is the 20 to 80%. This variation is because of the when birds is not infected or not co-infected with the immunosuppressive agent, so mortality is lower. And if the birds infected with the any of the aflatoxin or immunosuppressive agent, so mortality of the birds is high. So ranges in mortality can seen in this disease. Next point is the disease caused in the birds at 3 weeks of age and peaking at the age of 4 to 5 weeks in meat chickens. Disease most commonly occur in 3-week age of the birds, and most commonly but peaking at age is 4 to 5 week in meat chickens. Means this is the hydropericardium disease is most commonly the broilers disease, most commonly the broilers disease, that is the meat chickens disease. And broilers is the 4 to 6 week of the age, and at the age of the 4 to 5 week, this is the most commonly in fact at this age in birds. Next point is the milder disease can occur in the older chickens. Milder disease can occur in the older chickens such as breeders and layers. Means not too severe. Milder disease also occurs in the breeders or layers, but main disease is the broilers or meat chickens. Broilers or meat chicken. The hydropericardium is the main disease of the meat chickens, but can mildly infect the breeders or layer birds that are age of the more than the 16-17 week of age, can also infect. Then the symptom of the hydropericardium disease is that the affected bird exhibited to pericardial effusion, pulmonary edema, hepatomegaly, enlarged kidney. These symptoms also seen with the hydropericardium disease. Means mostly symptoms related to the heart or respiratory symptoms, respiratory tract related symptoms, that like the pericardial that are related to heart, and pulmonary that are related to heart, and respiratory hepatomegaly. This is the different symptoms. Hepatomegaly means enlargement of the kidney, enlargement of liver. Hepatomegaly, that is the enlargement of liver, and enlarged kidney also seen in this disease. These are the important symptoms seen in this disease condition. They are the pericardial effusion, pulmonary edema, hepatomegaly, and enlarged kidney. Next one is the diagnosis. How to diagnose this disease? So first, like other disease, first we saw the history of the infection, or history of birds, or history of flock. First we will discuss or ask with our honor. After to that, the clinical symptom and signs. So, and after to that we go on the laboratory diagnosis techniques. So first one is the disease is not diagnosed only on the basis of the clinical symptoms, because of in this disease no particular symptoms show in the birds. So the diagnostic technique like virus neutralization and fluorescent antibody test can used, because is the clinical symptom is not specific to this disease. Clinical symptom is not specific to this disease. So diagnostic techniques used for the diagnosis of the disease is like the virus neutralization test, fluorescent antibody test. Next diagnostic technique we can use in this disease, that is the virus isolation done in chicken embryo liver cells, chicken embryo liver cells, and chicken embryo kidney cell culture. So if the virus isolation technique used for the diagnosis, we can use the chicken embryo liver cell culture, or chicken embryo kidney cell culture, because of most of the symptoms show in the liver and kidney. Already discussed about the hepatomegaly and enlarged kidney. So virus can multiply in these cells, multiply in these organs. So we can use the culture of those organs. So virus isolation, we can culture the virus in the laboratory by the chicken embryo liver cell or chicken embryo kidney cell culture. Next diagnostic technique, we can use the serum antibody can be detected by the gel diffusion or by the virus neutralization test. Like the immunological techniques, most of the viral disease diagnosis we can use the or conformational diagnosis for the viral disease use the immunological technique. And also in this disease, hydropericardium disease, the serum antibody detected in the birds by the gel diffusion or by the virus neutralization test. We always remember to that the virus, for the virus diagnostic technique, we use the we most of time use the immunological technique like the virus neutralization, fluorescent, gel diffusion techniques. We already discussed in the immunology chapters. We can use for these virus diagnosis. These are the hydropericardium disease. Next disease caused by the adenovirus, that is the egg drop syndrome. This is also caused by the adenovirus. So we discussed about the egg drop syndrome, and egg drop syndrome is the important disease and asked many times to the short type question, means short note type questions, and many times asked that the causative agent of egg drop syndrome, asked many times. So this is the important disease, that is the egg drop syndrome. Then discussed about the egg drop syndrome. The egg drop syndrome has been recognized in chickens. Egg drop syndrome is also a disease of chickens and both domestic and wild duck and geese also. It is the egg drop syndrome is most common disease of chickens, but also infect the domestic and wild duck, and geese. Okay, then next point is the but chickens are the major species affected by this virus. Chicken is the major species that affected by this virus or adenovirus or AV adenoviruses, secondary infected to the domestic and wild duck or geese. This is the worldwide disease, means most of the all bird countries are birds or chickens are infected by the egg drop syndrome or present the egg drop syndrome disease. Next point, that is the disease associated with infection of genus AV adenovirus. The egg drop syndrome disease is caused by the AV adenovirus. We always remember to that is the egg drop syndrome caused by the AV adenovirus. This is the DNA virus, double standard DNA virus. Okay, so next first one is the soft cell egg or cell-less egg, also loss of the color in the pigmented egg, and Dropped egg production started at 29 to 31 week of the age, and if the egg production is decreased, not return to normal, egg were smaller and of a poor cell strength. These are the characteristic symptoms of the egg drop syndrome in the layer birds or layer hens. Next one is the transmission. How to transmit the egg drop syndrome. First one is the incubation period. Incubation period of the egg drop syndrome is the 7 days. Mostly 7 days, not always is the 7 days. Mainly contaminated egg. How to contaminate the birds by the contaminated egg is the most common transmission agent. Next one is the dropping of birds also contain virus. Dropping of birds is also contain the virus. So virus is easily spread in the other birds. Next one is the contaminated fomites such as carts and trucks can spread the virus. If the birds are transmitted from the one place to another place, one flock to another flock, so cart or trucks can spread the virus. Also transmitted by the needle used for vaccination. Various vaccination schedule used in the early stage of the birds. So virus also transmitted through the needle used for vaccination. This is the important thinking that for the transmission of the egg drop syndrome. These are the contaminated egg, dropping of the bird also contain virus, contaminated fomites such as the carts and trucks can spread virus and also transmitted by the needle used for vaccination. What is fomite? Fomite are the non-living thing like carts, trucks. These are the fomites. These include in the fomites non-living things that are used in the poultry house and dairy farms. We included in the fomites. So this is the transmission and incubation of the egg drop syndrome. Next one is the mainly breeding flock were infected because of this is the disease of the laying birds. This is the disease of the laying birds. So mainly breeding flock were infected. Virus was spread widely through the fertile egg. Most commonly virus spread through the fertile egg. Infection usually remains latent until birds reaches sexually maturity because the virus transmitted vertically in eggs. Virus, if the broiler is also infected this virus, they are virus present in the broiler's body in the latent condition, so they show the symptoms of this disease. But in the laying birds, they reaches the sexually maturity. And they transmit vertically transmit in the eggs. Vertical transmission is what is vertical transmission? That is the transfer of the disease from one generation to the next generation, one generation to next generation, parent to offspring. So egg drop syndrome can also transmit vertically. So they are the disease of the mainly disease of the breeding flock. spread through the fertile egg also, and also present in the latent infection. Egg drop syndrome virus or AV adenovirus is present in the birds as a latent infection, and latent infection present which is, that is the sexually maturity age, and transmit the virus from vertically from one generation to next generation. Then the clinical symptoms of the egg drop syndrome. So clinical symptoms is the thin cell egg or soft cell egg. They may have rough or even sandpaper like surface of the egg. Sandpaper like surface of the egg is present, and egg production may be decreased by a maximum up to 40%. Egg production may be decreased by a maximum up to 40%. So clinical symptoms is the thin cell egg, or surface of the egg is the rough or sandpaper like. Surface of the egg is the rough or even sandpaper like, or egg production is decreased up to 40%. Other clinical symptoms we are already discussed, that are the small in the size, egg size is the smaller than the normal, and that the production of the egg is also drop in the 29 to 31 week of the 1 week age of the laying birds, and loss of, if the egg is the pigmented, loss of pigmentation also is the characteristic symptoms of this disease. So symptoms of this disease is important. That is thin cell egg, smaller in the size egg, and if the thin cell egg, the rough and sandpaper like surface of the egg production decrease, smaller sized egg, pigmentation, if the pigmented egg, loss of the pigmentation. These are the main clinical symptoms of this disease, or egg drop syndrome disease. Then the lesions of the egg drop syndrome. The characteristics lesions in the infected birds in the pouch cell gland and oviduct. Pouch cell gland or oviduct of the infected bird show the characteristic symptoms or changes in these, in the pouch cell gland or oviduct. Both are present in the oviduct, and where the epithelial cell become necrotic and contain the intracellular inclusion bodies. Epithelial cell of the oviduct become, if the epithelial cell of the oviduct is infected, or so they become the necrotic and contain the intracellular inclusion bodies, or present the intracellular inclusion body in the epithelial cell of the oviduct. So this is also a characteristic lesions. That is the intracellular inclusion body present in the epithelial cell of the oviduct. These are the lesions. Next one is the diagnosis of the egg drop syndrome. So first one we discussed that the diagnosis based on the history and the clinical symptoms. And if the birds are dying, so they done the postmortem and show the lesions on the oviduct and pouch gland and epithelial cells, and also can detect the intracellular inclusion bodies in the oviduct, epithelial cell of the oviduct. So the diagnosis first based on the history and clinical symptom and lesions. These are already discussed in the previous lecture, and after to that the diagnosis is confirmed by the virus isolation on serology. Virus isolation is also the confirmed diagnostic technique, and serological tests like the virus neutralization test, fluorescent techniques. These can also use for this diagnosis of the AV adenoviruses that cause the egg drop syndrome. Next one is the diagnostic technique. We can use the heme agglutination inhibition test. Heme agglutination inhibition test and neutralization assay are specific for this virus. Specific for this virus, these are the heme agglutination inhibition and neutralization assay. These are the specific for the AV adenovirus. So diagnosis of the egg drop syndrome is based on the clinical history, clinical sign and lesions, and diagnosis is confirmed by the virus isolation and the serological techniques, and specific technique for use for this virus detection is the heme agglutination inhibit technique and neutralization assay. These are the diagnosis of the egg drop syndrome. And how to grow the virus in the laboratory, that are the virus grow to high titer in the embryonating egg of the duck, geese, or the cell culture derived from the ducks, geese, or the chickens, especially well in the duck kidney, duck embryo liver, and duck embryo fibroblast. So how can virus isolate or grow in the laboratory? Which organ or which birds use? The embryonating egg of the duck. Embryonating egg of the duck means fertilized egg of the duck, geese. Duck or geese embryonating or fertilized egg used, or cell culture derived from the duck, geese, or chickens. Cell culture derived from the duck, geese, or chickens, especially well grow virus in the duck kidney, duck embryo liver, or duck embryo fibroblast. These are used for the virus isolation or virus culture in the laboratory. So this is the egg drop syndrome. Vaccination is also vaccination for the vaccination, that is the inactivated vaccine available for use in chickens before they being laying eggs. Before laying egg they we can use for the vaccination, that are the inactivated vaccine available in market. They only reduced rather than eliminate the virus transmission. The inactivated vaccine are reduced, not eliminate the virus transmission. So we can use the inactivated vaccine for laying birds before they start laying. Next one is the turkey adenovirus third, that is the hemorrhagic enteritis of turkey. Turkey adenovirus third, that is the hemorrhagic enteritis of turkey. Turkey adenovirus third causes hemorrhagic enteritis in turkey birds. Caused by the hemorrhagic enteritis is caused by the turkey adenovirus third. These now designated turkey C. adenovirus A. Now designated turkey C. adenovirus A. This is the acute infection of turkey older than 4 weeks of birds. 4 weeks of birds. This is the hemorrhagic enteritis is the acute disease or acute infection of turkey older than 4 weeks of age. Means more than 4 weeks of the 4 week age of the birds are infected with the turkey adenovirus third. The virus is transmitted radially by the contact or fomites. Contact or fomites are transmit this virus or adenovirus third. Very stable in the contaminated dropping and litter. What is litter? That are the material present on the floor on the turkey house. These are the stable contaminated dropping and litter. The flock mortality may reaches up to 60%, although the usual mortality is 1 to 3%. Usual mortality of the birds is the 1 to 3%, but may be reaches up to 60% mortality is done. Clinical symptoms. The disease has an acute onset with depression, bloody dropping and death. The disease is the acute means the suddenly virus infect, and if the symptoms will start onset, that are the birds may depressed on bloody dropping is seen after to suddenly birds are die. Birds are die. They are the acute disease. Next one is the lesions. Lesions are the pathognomic. These include the prominent macrophage phagocytic cell hyperplasia, prominent macrophage phagocytic hyperplasia. Next lesions is the intranuclear inclusion body present in the spleen. Intranuclear inclusion body present in the spleen. Distended bloody intestine. Distended bloody intestine and pseudomembranous fibronecrotic inflammation in duodenum. These are the characteristic lesions or pathognomic lesions present in this disease. Prominent macrophage phagocytic cell hyperplasia. Hyperplasia, macrophagic hyperplasia is the characteristic lesions of this disease. Intranuclear inclusion body found in the spleen. Distended bloody intestine means intestine fulfill with blood, or pseudomembranous or fibronecrotic inflammation in duodenum, a membrane formation on the epithelial cells of the duodenum, that is the pseudomembranous. These formed by the fibronecrotic cells. These are the lesions found in this disease. After to that, the diagnosis. Diagnosis mainly based on our history, clinical symptoms. So note the confirmatory symptoms, confirmatory clinical sign or symptoms not showing this disease. The only show the depression and bloody diarrhea, and suddenly after to that the death of the birds. So not the characteristics or characteristics symptoms found in this disease. So diagnosis of infection may be confirmed by the serology. Confirmatory diagnosis not found by the clinical symptoms or history. So confirmation diagnosis is done by the serology using an immunoassay or agar-gel immunodiffusion techniques. For the diagnosis of confirmation of this disease, use the serology. Use the serology by using an immunoassay or agar-gel immunodiffusion test or techniques we can use for this diagnosis. By virus isolation, with the identification of isolates by the immunohistochemistry, immunofluorescence or PCR technique can also use. After that the virus isolation. With identification, virus isolate with identification. Isolate by the immunohistochemistry, immunofluorescence technique or PCR technique, that is the polymerase chain technique. Then the vaccination. For vaccination, using a live attenuated virus produced either in Turkey spleen cell or in Turkey B lymphocyte cell. Vaccination also derived from or produced in Turkey spleen cell or Turkey B lymphocyte cells, because of this is the main disease of Turkey. Vaccine is administered via drinking water, not used for the intramuscular or other route. Only vaccine is administered via the drinking water. Optimum age of vaccination is 4 to 5 weeks. Optimum age of the vaccination, that is the 4 to 5 weeks. This is the all over about the Turkey hemorrhagic enteritis. After to that is the Phil bronchitis. This is also important disease, that mostly the disease of the Phil. Some of the other wild bird also infected, but the main disease is the Phil, or in fact the respiratory system. So now we will discuss to Phil bronchitis. It is important disease of wild and captive birds worldwide. This is Phil bronchitis is the disease of the wild and captive birds, both wild and captive or domestic birds worldwide. This is the disease of worldwide, caused by the adenovirus A. Phil bronchitis is caused by the adenovirus A. Mortality may be 100%. In young birds, mortality may be 100% in young birds, but fall to less than 25% in birds aged more than 4 weeks when infected. In young birds, mortality is 100%, but if the age of the birds is more than 4 weeks, the mortality decreased up to 25%. So this is the more dangerous disease of the young birds, not older or more than 4 weeks of the age birds. After to that, the clinical symptoms. The young birds is manifest as respiratory distress, because of the most of the clinical symptoms related to the respiratory tract. Respiratory tract, that include the respiratory distress, open mouth breathing, nasal discharge, coughing, sneezing, rales, lacrimation, conjunctivitis. conjunctivitis. These are the clinical symptoms. But in the older birds, these are the main symptoms of the young birds. But in the older birds may also present diarrhea. May also present diarrhea in only older birds. But in young or older birds, both are the respiratory distress, open mouth, nasal discharge, coughing, sneezing, rales, lacrimation and conjunctivitis. These symptoms also may present in the older bird, may also present in older birds as well as young birds. But diarrhea present only in the older birds, not in the young birds. So this is the clinical symptoms of the quill bronchitis. In young birds, respiratory distress, open mouth breathing, nasal discharge, coughing, sneezing, rales, lacrimation, conjunctivitis. These are the main symptoms of the young birds. But in older birds may also present respiratory distress, open mouth breathing, nasal discharge, coughing, sneezing, rale, lacrimation, conjunctivitis, and also important symptoms, that is the diarrhea. That is the diarrhea present only in the older birds or more than the 4-week age of the birds present. After to that, the lesions. What lesion found in the quill bronchitis? These are the disease is marked by the necrotic or hemorrhagic tracheitis. Tracheitis means that is the inflammation of the trachea. That are the hemorrhagic tracheitis. Hemorrhages also present with inflammation of the trachea with distant large basophilic intranuclear inclusion body. Also present the basophilic intranuclear inclusion body in the tracheal wall cells or epithelial cells. Multifocal hepatic necrosis also found in this disease. Gaseous and mucoid enteritis also present. Gaseous and mucoid enteritis also present in this disease, and gaseous and mucoid enteritis mostly found in the older birds or mostly more than age of 4 week of birds. These found the gaseous and mucoid enteritis, and this called this result to the diarrhea may produced. Enteritis may produce diarrhea. So this is the characteristic lesions of the quill bronchitis. These are the necrotic or hemorrhagic tracheitis. Necrotic or hemorrhagic tracheitis with distant large basophilic intranuclear inclusion body. Basophilic intranuclear inclusion body. Multifocal hepatic necrosis. Multifocal hepatic necrosis also found in this disease, and gaseous and mucoid enteritis. Gaseous and mucoid enteritis present in older birds or more than 4 week age of birds. These are the lesions of the quill bronchitis.